On the latest edition of the Rock and Roll Experience with Mike Brunn, I sit down with Kruisefest organizer Joe D'Angelo to talk about the greatest party that'll take place prior to Kiss Cruise 9 coming up next month. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hey everybody, welcome to the latest edition of the Rock and Roll Experience with Mike Brunn. I got a really special guest with me today, one of the organizers, one of the planners for an amazing party that's going to be held next month. That party is being held in Miami called Kruisefest. And with me today is none other than Joe D'Angelo. Hey Joe, how you doing?
I'm good, Mike. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for being on. So, I was at the party last year, which was a great time. And, usually on these cruises, I've gone with my family in the past, so I haven't been able to be at as many of these pre-parties. But I think you're a veteran at doing these, right? How many years have you been doing these pre-parties? This
is the third year that I've actually done the pre-party for the Kiss Cruise, but I've been booking bands for 30 years.
Oh, wow.
So this is kind of, it's just something I do and I love. It's a labor of love and it's a passion I enjoy.
Right. Yeah. So, to me as a fan, like last year, there was 2 different parties. So to me, it's nice now that I guess it's you and Neil and Jay, and I think it's Bill, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Right. So all of you guys have come together. How did that happen? Because it's great for fans not to have to choose anymore which party to go to.
Well, my partner from previous years retired. So I knew that going in to the end of last year. So Neil was a guy that I had met previous to the end of last year. And he came up to me and he's like, "Are you thinking about doing this next year?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm already got some stuff in the works." He's like, "I want to be a part of it." And I was like, okay. So as soon as we were on the cruise, we talked a bit on the cruise. As soon as the cruise was over, Neil and I connected and immediately got to work. Jay and Bill were friends separately.
Okay.
And Jay had basically reached out to us because, I know Jay from the cruise. He and I have both been on all the cruises, and we he's done parties before too. He's done a couple. I think he did 3, Kiss Cruise 3, 4, and 5. He's done a few.
Okay.
But anyway, so he reached out and he's like, "Hey, look, we were thinking of doing a party. You're already doing one. Why don't we just stop this? I am having a party, you're having a party, and just put our resources together and put one big event so everybody can come, they can stay at the hotel, they can play at the hotel. You don't even have to leave."
Yep.
And what's cool is, speaking of hotels, we switched to a different hotel. We went to a bigger one that had more rooms so that more of the cruisers could stay and play. And what wound up being something of a necessity became an added value because the place is gorgeous. It's surrounded by water on 3 sides.
Wow.
So when we're out at the pool having the pool parties, the view is just, it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That sounds awesome. And, to me, the biggest winners here are all the fans that are going to be in attendance because, like you said, you guys came together, pulled your resources together. Now it's a 2-day event, loaded with, Ace Frehley, Sebastian, Bach, Return of the Comet. So the first day, why don't you just talk through a little bit what's going on the first day there?
Well, it's kind of funny. I mean, as a guy who's been booking bands for years, I wanted to put on a great show. Neil has a passion for the music end of it too. So he wanted to put on a great show. And once we got into it, we're thinking, because Neil's a Kiss fan too, we're like, you know what? We want to put on a party for the fans.
Right.
So Monday, you check in, you're coming in, everything's, if you check in on Monday or if you're checking in on Sunday, you're just getting settled. You're on vacation.
Right.
So we're going to start everything at the event Monday. One of 2 things. The pool party is going to kick off. We're doing a pool party on both days.
Right. Yep.
We started one on Tuesday, but it was received such great response, we decided we would do one on Monday as well. So Monday around 11 or so, we figured we'd be out there. DJ Noise, who you guys probably know, he's been
Absolutely.
our DJ for years and years. He's a 9-time cruiser too. A good drummer in his own right as well.
Absolutely, yep.
He'll be spinning tunes out there by the pool. And then one of our bands, Jaded Past, who's a great rock band. They're just a good band. But they're gonna do an acoustic set by the pool, and they're gonna do like 90 minutes of 80s rock and roll and 80s metal.
Nice.
So it'll be fun. Stuff you can sing to, raise your
Mm-hmm.
glass, have a good time. Great
Right.
way to be on vacation. And then when they're done, we have a performance painter like the Kiss is using as their opening act.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice.
We have a performance painter called Perig. His name is Perigo,
Okay.
and he's just saying he's like Garfield. He's very animated music, and he's flicking. He's got long
Mm-hmm.
hair. The paint goes in the hair, and his stuff's flying. It's pretty cool.
Right. Right.
So he's going to wrap up the pool party, and on Monday, and
Mm-hmm.
then whatever he paints, whatever painting it is, he's going to sell.
Oh, very cool.
He also pre-painted one that's going to be in the Raffles, but we'll get to that when we get to the Raffles.
Right. Right.
So while the pool party is going on, the expo opens as well.
Okay.
The expo is going to be open all day.
Nice.
We've got over 40 tables.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Kiss Army Warehouse is coming. Creatures of the South. Dale Torborg is going to have a table. Lydia Chris is coming. She's a new addition. Thank you, Lydia. We love Lydia. We can't wait to have her there.
Absolutely.
Bob Kulik and a bunch of other different vendors are going to be selling stuff. It's going to be cool. And again, this was us looking at it from a Kiss standpoint. It's like, we're fans. We want to put on an epic event. So the expo kind of evolved and it's become pretty big. And where it's set up, again, this switching to the new hotel, this is going to, the expo is going to be set up directly in front of the entrance to the concert hall. So it's all going to be in one spot.
Nice.
So it's going to be cool. It's going to be nice.
Yeah. And it's
that's Monday day.
Right. Yeah. I was just going to say that's only the first few hours. And it's funny because, in my mind, this has always been like a series of concerts. But I almost forget that, like you said, there's 40 dealer tables set up. It's almost like an expo also. You're really getting the best of both worlds here. And,
the great part of it is you got people coming from all over the world.
Absolutely.
And they may not be able to get the things that we get so easily here in the States.
Absolutely.
So it'll be nice that they'll have an opportunity to do that.
Absolutely. And, you mentioned that you're going to have a painter there. And I'll just talk from my experience. When I went to the end of the road shows, and I know probably not everybody watching this maybe hasn't gone to a show yet. When I first heard a painter was going to be an opening act, I'm like, oh, really? That's lame. And then when the first time I saw it, I'm like, that's friggin' cool. That's really, really cool. So, my advice would be for anybody who hasn't seen it, or even if you have seen it, it's such a cool experience to me. It's so worth checking it out. And I'm sure, this sounds like a fun time hanging out by the pool, watching this guy doing painting. You're having a band playing the acoustic songs there as well beforehand. I mean, that's just, to me, a great way to start a vacation.
Yeah,
you're only on the afternoon.
We all love music, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're trying to keep it lighthearted. We want it to be serious in the sense that everything runs right.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the people there, just come and have a great time. There's going to be Kiss-themed drink specials and Kiss-themed food. And everything's going to have a Kiss flair. It's going to be a lot of fun. So
right. Very
that's
cool.
just Monday, like during the day.
Right. Now that night you have Sebastian Bach, right?
We do. Monday night is actually chock full too. Our first band on is going to be Jaded Past, which this will be their electric set.
Nice.
So they're going to do acoustic by the pool, and then they do an electric later. Electric will be mostly original, I'm betting. The guys are good. I've known the guitar player, Pete, for about 30 years.
Oh, nice.
And Pete's just one of those guys that's always had a gift. He's just a musician. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He just picks up the guitar and it just flows so smoothly out of him. It's great. So they'll be the first band on. The number 13s are the second band. And you may remember they were on the Kruise a few years back.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think they did 3 cruises in a row, like 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
So they're going to be there.
Nice.
And then after them is the All-Star Band.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Kruisefest All-Star Band is basically Ace Frehley's backup band, which is Matt Starr, Ryan Cook, Phil Schaus, and Jeremy Asbrock.
All great guys.
They're super. I love those dudes. What I love about them is they're like you and me. You sit down and if you talk to them, there's no head trips.
Absolutely.
And, they've been on stage with Ace Frehley and Gene Simmons and Dave Ellefson and Michael Sweet. They've played with all these great musicians, and they're still just normal guys.
Yeah, I remember Jeremy has stopped me a few times, either at shows or last year on the Cruise, and just started talking to me. And oh, hey Mike, how you doing? I'm like, you really you remember my name, really? Like, and just like such a regular, down to earth guy, and all of them are. So it's great that they're going to be there. So what exactly are they doing on the Monday?
They're going to do like an hour and a half set, hour and 10, 15 minutes or whatever, and different people are going to jump up and do songs with them.
Oh, nice.
So like Bob Kulik's going to do like 3 or 4 songs. I think he's doing 4 songs.
Awesome.
And with him for one of the songs, I don't want to give away the song titles because I don't know if he's going to want to announce it,
Of
but
course.
either way, John Corabi's going to sing with him
Oh,
for one
nice.
of the tunes.
Very nice.
He's got another singer, I believe, coming up that used to sing on one of his solo albums, so that person's going to be there.
Okay.
John Regan's going to do a song. Todd Howard, Richie Scarlett. Trying to think who else. Trying to go through the bands in my head. But, the whole point is to have a bunch of different musicians pop up, jam some tunes. My buddy Pete from Jaded Past and the singer George are going to do a couple of songs.
Okay.
George has got a good voice for that kind of music, too, for the 80s
Nice.
and rock and roll. So it'll fit.
Right. Nice.
And then when they're done, Sebastian takes the stage. So, that's going to be a really great lineup.
Right. Oh, absolutely. I'm getting exhausted just thinking about it already. And there's only day one.
I know.
And so Sebastian Bach's going to play now. I know he's out on tour right now, and he's doing the whole first Skid Row album. Is that what he's doing at the expo? Oh, at the party?
Yeah, he's doing the whole first album. And he usually does like 2 or 3 songs from the second album, I think,
Nice.
too, as like part of the encore.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling he may dump a Kiss song or 2 in his mix.
Mm-hmm.
He's a huge fan, obviously.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I have a feeling he'll take advantage of the welcoming crowd.
Mm-hmm.
If he does it, he'd be dumb too.
Absolutely. I
They'll
agree.
love it. They'll eat it up.
I agree. I saw him a couple of years ago. He puts on a great show. That first Skid Row album is incredible in my mind. So that's hands down. That's got to be a great show.
The first 2 albums from them, I think, are really good. To me, Slave to the Grind is a Desert Island disc.
Yep.
If I got to pick 10 albums, that very close is going to be one of the 10. It's
Nice.
that good to me.
Nice.
It's my era. It's when it's
Likewise.
my age.
Yep. Exactly. I grew up with that stuff as well. So absolutely. And then you're doing something, if I'm not mistaken, that evening, like after Sebastian Bach, you're doing like a whatever kind of party until the wee hours of the morning also, right?
Yeah, Thunder Mother is going to play. We have, and again, the great part about this hotel versus the Doubletree, and I don't want to speak ill of the Doubletree because they're great to us.
Right.
Just that with their renovations, they're not going to be ready, so that's why we're going here. They have other little ballrooms. Like we have the massive ballroom that the concert's going to be in, but they have smaller ballrooms that hold like 500-600 people.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take one of those over for an after party, and Thunder Mother is going to put on a special set.
Nice.
And I have a feeling some people might be popping up to jam with them, so that'll be.
Well, you got a lot of people there, and that's just the first day. So I'm already thinking, like, how the hell you're going to be exhausted by the time the cruise begins? Because we're going to go
I'm already planning on not getting much sleep. So.
I don't know how you're going to do it because you go into day 2, and now you've got John Corabi starting off. I guess in the afternoon he's doing the pool party, right?
Yeah, we'll do the same setup where the expo will open early. Registration table, of course, will be there. Everybody has to check in at the registration and get their ticket scanned and wristband stuff. And then the pool party on Tuesday will start at 11. We have a band from, and I'm sorry if this is wrong, but I believe they're from Holland.
Okay.
They are Kisterius is the name of the band. And they're good. I've checked them out a few times online, and they're cruisers. And they reached out to us, and they're like, hey, look, is there anything we can do? We'd love to be a part of this event. And we said, well, Corabi needs an opening band. Why don't you come on out and play acoustically? And they're like, love it. We'll do it.
Awesome.
So they're going to do an acoustic Kiss set, and then Corabi is going to come on after. And if anyone hasn't seen his acoustic solo show, do it.
Yep, I agree.
Do it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm a fan anyway, so of course it's easy to push me over the ledge. But I really was impressed. I saw him and Mike Tramp at a little theater near me.
Okay.
There's about 150 people. Small.
Oh wow.
And we're all sitting at tables having drinks. It was a weird setup in that sense because it wasn't like a concert.
Right.
But he played acoustic, and it was just him on stage. And it was off the charts. He was really, really good. It's to me, it's fun when you're a fan of somebody,
right? And
then you get to see them live, and you realize why you're a fan of that person, or a band or whatever.
And
so
to me, he's an incredible singer, and he's got a great catalog of songs. Whether it's the Motley Crue stuff, whether it's the Union stuff, or whatever it may be, to me, he's got some good songs that he could do. Definitely.
Oh yeah, he's got and the whole Daisy catalog is
Oh,
just
absolutely,
great.
absolutely.
Love
Yep,
those guys. It's a
absolutely.
shame that he's not in the band anymore, but things happen.
Right,
So
right. So be it, right? So I mean,
yeah,
that's great in of itself to start the day that way. Then you get Return of the Comet, which I'm assuming, have you seen them yet on tour? The Return of the Comet?
I did. I
Yeah,
actually caught them in Stroudsburg, PA. I want to say.
nice. Okay.
And Matt Porter, if you're listening right now, I dropped the ball in remembering the name of the place. I'm sorry. Matt from the Kiss Room was there as
Yep.
well.
Oh, nice.
And again, we had already booked them for the event.
Okay.
I worked with Todd and John last year at the party,
Mm-hmm.
and we stayed in touch the whole way. I was actually looking at doing some shows for those guys, but neither way,
Mm-hmm.
I knew they had to be a part of this event, so we immediately booked Return of the Comet without seeing them.
Right.
Once I saw them, I was like, yes,
Right.
I'm glad I.
Absolutely, absolutely. I drove. I think it was 2 or 3 hours to their first show. And,
Wow, that's dry.
Yeah, yeah. But to me, it was worth it. I wanted to go in. I didn't know what they would play. I figured they would. I was hoping they would do some of the '85 Frehley's Comet songs. Like "Give It to Me
Yep.
Anyway" is maybe one of my favorite. I'll say Frehley's Comet songs, even though
Right.
really wasn't on any official albums from the '80s. I know they put it on a greatest hits thing later on, but as soon as they started doing that song, I was like, worth the 3-hour drive. Thank you. Thank you. So, I'm excited to see them at Kruisefest. To me, they put on a great show, and that alone would be worth the price of the ticket just to see them.
Yeah. Well, that lineup that night, Kiss America is going to start the night,
Mm-hmm.
which they ended it last year, and they were great. They're really one of the best Kiss tribute bands I've ever. And I used to book Kiss tribute bands that were excellent,
Mm-hmm.
and these guys have the stage show down. They're really good.
Yep.
So they'll open the night. Then Thunder Mother is going to do an electric set, which will be killer because those gals can kick ass.
Mm-hmm.
Then Return of the Comet, and at the end of their set, Ace is going to join them for 2 songs.
Yep.
And then Ace is going to start his set.
Right. Right.
So I mean, and we kept, and I say this, we kept the tickets. We tried to keep the tickets as affordable as possible, but we had to cover the costs of everything.
Of course.
So the general admission tickets are $85, and it's good for both days. So you get all the bands we just discussed for $85.
Absolutely.
So in the grand scheme of things, that's really, I think, a good price.
I think it's an amazing price. Look, most people that are listening to this may not be a fan, but I'm a big Weezer fan. I'm a big Green Day fan. So I just bought tickets to that. $150 a ticket for one concert. You've got a 2-day event for $85.
Yeah, and some people can't seem to get that. They
I don't know why.
Yeah, and to me, it's just when I went to see Ace in Staten Island.
Yep.
He played 2 years ago, maybe.
Yep. I
paid $68 for my ticket.
Exactly.
And when I got there, I saw Ace Frehley play.
Right.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, when you think about it, $85 for all those bands, it seems like a good deal to me. I'd pay it.
I am paying it. So how about that? So
Thank you.
I'm putting my money where my mouth is, right? So I think it's worth every penny. I think you could charge more personally, but yeah, no, I won't go there. So
well, we did that for the VIPs.
Yeah.
We did a VIP ticket, and I believe 2 or 3 were just released. So if anybody wants a VIP, they can actually log on to our ticket window and buy the last couple that are left. But it's kind of cool. What we're going to do is we're going to set up a pit in front of the stage.
Okay.
And then behind it will be a rail. And then GA will be behind the rail, just like a typical show.
Yep.
But in that pit, there's only going to be one way in and one way out, and that's the VIP entrance.
Okay.
So that's essentially the VIPs, and there'll be a private bar that the VIP people can go to, so they don't have to go back into GA and fight to get to a bar and then back into the VIP area. Try to keep it easy for them to just go over and get a drink and then come right back.
Okay.
So there's a couple of those left. If you don't get one of those, but you want a VIP ticket, the only way to get a VIP ticket is to do the Ace Frehley guitar experience.
Right. Yeah.
And
so explain what that is, because to me that sounds cool.
It's basically Ace has agreed to sign 20 guitars that we had made for Kruisefest. They are replicas of his Les Paul. It's not a Les Paul, it's a replica. But I mean, let's face it, if it's a Gibson Les Paul, it's thousands of dollars. It would be a lot more than what you're paying.
Absolutely.
But we had these made. They look exactly like his guitar. They have they're the right scale. They're not like smaller. It's a true guitar. I mean, you could actually play it. It's playable, you know.
Right.
But it's got all the lightning bolts in the frets. The 12th fret has his signature, and the headstock has his the face from the solo album in '78.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
So it's an Ace guitar.
Right.
So you get to meet Ace. You know, he'll sign the guitar. You can bring someone with you if you want to bring your guest, your wife, your kids, whatever. On in, get your picture with Ace. He'll sign the guitar. You take it with you. You get that. You get a certificate of authenticity. You're going to get a hard shell case, which is great. And then you can take it all, package it up. Once you're done, there's a UPS store a mile from the hotel.
Nice.
So you can just go ship it to your house, and when you get home from the cruise, it'll be there.
It'll be there. That's very cool. Now, if you wanted to meet Ace, I know you have the guitar meet and greet, like you just said. Is there like any photo op with Ace or anything like that?
There's another Ace meet and greet that we're doing on Monday.
Okay.
Those are sold out for the moment.
Okay.
We have a couple left that we're holding just in case there's a problem with anyone's tickets or whatever, just to make sure that we have a couple in reserve. What'll probably wind up happening in the next week or two, we'll release those. Okay. Those are a lot cheaper, and then you can bring something for Ace to sign. You get your picture with them, nice. And it's a true meet and greet kind of thing. It's just cheaper because you're not getting a guitar. Awesome.
And then the rest of the guests that are there, maybe with the exception of Sebastian and Bach, the rest of the guests are going to be like at the expo table area. So if you want to meet Bob Kulick rather, on the first day, or Lydia, Chris, or whatever, you could just go over to their tables.
Yeah, and if I know Bob and Lydia, they'll be walking around the crowd saying hi to everybody anyway. So
absolutely.
Lydia's great. You just pull up a chair and sit down and have a conversation with
absolutely.
her.
Yep, agreed.
She's very cool. I'm excited that she's coming.
No, it's a great who's who of anybody who's been involved in KISS through the years. You know, so one other thing I had about the Ace show, and you know, if you don't know or if you don't want to say, I respect that. Has he given you any insight if he's going to look to do any deep cuts like he did last year on the cruise at the show?
I know the guys in the band are into that.
Absolutely.
It's just whether or not Ace is gonna do it. I don't know. I have a feeling he might pull out one or two. I doubt we're going to hear Torpedo Girl again. Although I have to admit, it was pretty awesome that I got to hear that.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I didn't care that he was a little sloppy in Dark Light. It did not matter to me one bit. If he wants to do Dark Light,
Dark Light live.
Exactly. Never. So if he wants to do Dark Light at Kruisefest and mess it up again, sign me up. I'm fine with that. You know?
I'm with you.
100%. 100%. Now, you mentioned it before. I wanted to kind of spend a little time on that. You have a bunch of charity raffles that you set up well, right? Yeah. So just, tell everybody watching about that.
You know, what we did at all of these pre-parties dating back to the very first one, I think one thing everybody always tried to do was give back. And we've all selected different charities along the years. I know Jay had given to Sophie's charity, which was great. And I think he did really good. He did like $14,000 or something. It was excellent.
Amazing, right?
And we did the Breast Cancer Foundation last year and gave over $5,000, which actually got doubled because of the calls that they were doing, so that they had an anonymous donor. So we wound up giving them $10,000.
Oh wow, nice.
So this year, what we're doing, we decided we're going to do St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Nice. Okay.
We're teaming up with KISS FBA. They've been selling shirts and all kinds of stuff, and they're doing raffles. They're going to be at the event. They're going to have a table there. I know several of them that are going to be working and trying to help sell things to raise money. And all the money that we pull together from our raffles and from KISS FBA, we're going to put it all in one lump sum and deposit it to St. Jude's. So the raffles are cool. They're we got, of course, I mentioned earlier the Perigo painting, which is essentially the 4 solo faces from '78.
Oh, nice.
And it really is cool. It's a 5-foot square.
Wow.
Big.
That sounds big. Yeah, nice.
It's $10. Every chance is $10.
Yep.
And then you get, if you buy 10 chances, you're in 10 times. Right. Gene donated a vault experience. So you can enter to win a vault and get the experience on the cruise.
Oh, nice.
You'll actually get your vault at Kruisefest. So you can take it and ship it home and then when you get on the boat, they'll give you the book that comes with it, and
Perfect.
Gene will sign it. So all you have
Nice.
to carry is the book.
Very nice.
We're going to get a guitar, probably an Epiphone or something like that, and have Ace, Sebastian, the 4 guys in Ace's band, the 4 guys in Return of the Comet, John Corabi, Bob Kulick. They're all going to sign it.
Nice.
And then that'll be one of the items. And Sebastian agreed to sign a microphone as well.
Oh,
so
cool.
that'll be cool. Now, we put these up on the website, and people started buying them, and we did it through Eventbrite.
Okay.
If anybody does events, do not use Eventbrite.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's my recommendation.
Okay.
There's no clear-cut explanation. They won't do anything for charity. You have to be paid. They want to make money.
That stinks.
And the money goes to charity. They don't get their commission, and they don't do it. So they took people's money, and we sold like 150 tickets, and then they gave everybody's money back, and now I have to do it all over again. So I'm going to be launching that in the next day or two, but I'll have everything up on the website, so keep an eye open for it.
Yeah. And the website is
Kruisefest.com.
Okay.
That's
now,
Kruisefest with a K.
That's right. Absolutely. With the K. So now, but there's other merchandise on the site, right? I think I bought guitar picks, if I remember right, like a couple of weeks ago, right? You have, I think, sweatshirts or shirts or some sort of, what else do you have on the website to buy?
We actually just stopped the pre-order today.
Oh, okay.
But all the stuff that we had, except for the guitar picks, will be on sale because we sold out every set that we were going to make.
Okay,
we made, I think, 50 sets.
Okay.
And it's just, and they're cool. I really dig them.
They looked cool. Like I bought a set. I was like, oh, that looks cool.
It's going to be cool. We went with that same look, that kind of, I don't want to call it a cartoon, but that animated look. We did a T-shirt, and I called it the Headshot Tee. And it's on the back, it's everybody's single face that's playing. And it's just a really, it's an interesting look. I like it. Right. As a guy who wears rock shirts every day,
both
every day. These are shirts that I would wear, and that was one of the things. Again, when we put this out there, I didn't want to put out a ton of merch just for the sake of having merch. Right. I wanted to put stuff out there that I felt people would kind of dig and enjoy buying, and not just say, "Oh man, another shirt." Right. So we're gonna have we have a T-shirt with the Kruisefest logo.
Okay.
And it's like a baseball tee. It's gray with navy sleeves. That same design will be on an all-black shirt like this one.
Okay.
Then we have another all-black shirt with the Kruisefest logo slightly different on the front with all the headshots on the back that I was talking about.
Yep.
And then there'll be stickers, magnets, and can koozies. Stuff I thought people would dig. Cheap. Nice. $2 for a sticker or something. Just whatever it costs us, we're passing it on.
Right. Well, to me, the shirt with all the faces on the back sounds cool. It sounds like a good memento from the 2-day event. So I'll probably be picking one up at the event, I'm sure. So
excellent.
Yeah. And to me, what's cool also, and I just want to make sure people watching this realize this, you don't have to be going on the cruise to go to this event, right?
No, yeah. In fact, I've heard of quite a few people that are coming to Miami for this event and not going to the cruise.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. So, if the cruise is out of your price range or whatever, I can speak from experience. Last year, I did the party with you with the Vinnie Vincent thing, and I had a great time that night. And 4x Fate played last year also, and it was a great night. It was a great party, and to me, worth every penny. So people again who's watching, if you're not going on the cruise, come to Kruisefest. You won't regret it. It's an absolute great time. Absolute great time.
I appreciate it, man. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And again, it's just, as a fan, I can't stress this enough. We're all the 4 guys, and I say the 4 guys, but Neil's wife Katie and my wife Patrice, they've been working on this almost as much as we have for the last 9 months.
Right.
Patrice is my wife, huge Kiss fan, and I have a picture of her at her 5-year-old birthday party in a tutu going like this.
Oh, nice.
So, 5 years old. So I can clearly say she's a bigger Kiss fan than me, because at 5 years old, I was not doing that. I was probably more like 9 or 10.
Right.
But she loves this shit. She loves the way people's faces light up when something good happens, and she was a part of it. my wife works at a church, and I always say she's the most honest person I've ever known in my
Mm-hmm.
life.
Okay, nice.
I've never seen her lie in 30 years. I'm not kidding you.
Okay,
So
nice.
the great part of that is that she wears her emotions on her sleeve.
Mm.
So you always know how she's feeling at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
And last year we were on the side of the stage watching 4 by Fate, waiting
Mm-hmm.
for Vinny to come in.
Yep.
And Vinny was late.
Yep.
And, we were panicking a bit because we wanted to make sure that we gave the fans what we said we were going to give the fans.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see the look on her face when this little boy was standing back there, because we had him set aside because it was crowded.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at me, and he looks at her, and he goes, "Is Vinny coming?"
Oh, no.
And she was like, "Yeah, he's supposed to be here." And we had guitar picks with Vinny's face on it, so she gave him one, and he lit up, and he loved it.
Nice.
And, of course, Vinny comes in 10 minutes later,
Mm-hmm.
and the look on her face when it was all good and everybody – look out in that audience. People were chanting his name.
Mm-hmm.
We did it.
Yep.
We got him there. She was elated at that. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to seeing that look on her face this year. So.
Absolutely. It's funny. I'll share one story. So I was telling you before that usually I go on the cruise with it used to be my wife, my son, and my daughter. Now it's just my daughter. My son, is not really into it anymore. So last year, my daughter's a college student. So last year I wanted to go to the pre-party. I wanted to see the Vinnie Vincent show and 4 by Fate. My daughter, though, was in school till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like, shit, now what? See you there. Bye, Courtney. So I flew down in the morning. She flew down and got there about 10 minutes before Vinnie Vincent hit the stage, actually. So,
no kidding.
Yeah, so on a personal level, I was glad he was about 10 minutes late because I was like telling her the whole time, I'm telling you, this guy hasn't played electric guitar in 25 years. You want to be there? So, she bought it. I bought a ticket for her to come also. And I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, she's going to miss it. She's going to miss it. So when he was 10 minutes late, I'm like, all right, good. But this year I'm traveling with her, just for the record. So I won't leave her behind. But,
fantastic.
Yeah. So, but no, Joe, in the past, you put on a great party. I'm sure this year is going to be, even better to me. I hear the 2 days, the events. I don't know how you do it. It's months and months of planning. It's, going to be a lot to pull off, but there's no doubt it's going to be an amazing time. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure everybody else is as well. Anything else you wanted to say to everybody before we wrap up here? Anything I'm forgetting to ask you about or whatever?
Just tell people, if you don't mind, people go to Kruisefest.com.
Yep.
Everything you need to know about the event, the schedule, the expo details, the hotel information, if you want to book a room, all that is there. Information on the ACE meet and greets, the link to the ticket window. I try to make the website as self-contained
Yep.
as possible. So I think anything you need, you can find there. If you can't find it there, Kruisefest@gmail.com gets directly to me. And
Awesome.
I'll make sure I take care of you.
Awesome. No, and look, you've been great. You messaged me when the hotels were changing. Hey, is your hotel room great? And I think I posted on one of the things that I wasn't even the slightest bit worried or concerned because your track record speaks for itself to me. And I'm not just saying that because you're on the show right now. I wasn't the slightest bit worried. I know it's going to be an amazing time. So anybody who's on the fence, they better get in now, right, before they regret it afterwards. It's the way
Thanks.
I say it.
Appreciate it.
Excellent. So
we only have I think we have about 200 or something tickets left.
Okay.
And you were at last year. You know how crowded it was.
Yes.
I don't want that again.
Yes. Well, it's funny because I was right up against the stage last year, first row. So
Okay.
I had no clue what it was like behind me. I didn't move the whole night. So
It was packed.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be packed this year with that many people,
Mm-hmm.
but in a room that's 5 times the size.
Right. Nice.
So you'll be able to spread out. There'll be bars you can go to and lean on and actually stand there. We'll have a little tables. I want to try to make it, and Neil is all about this too. Neil and Jay both.
Okay.
They're like, I don't care if we have 500 people, if we have 5,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
We want to make sure the event is run right. So if we only have 500, it's the best thing those 500 people ever did.
Yep.
So, and that's
Nice.
what we're pushing for. So
Nice.
thank you very much. There are a few hundred tickets left, and then we're out. So people better get them.
Get them before it's too late. I'm telling you, again, from experience, you won't regret it if you buy the tickets. Listen to me. You'll have a great time. So, Joe, thank you for joining me today on this.
Thanks for having me.
6 weeks away or so. So,
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great time. And, I guess I'll see you in about 6 weeks or so.
I look forward to it. Thanks, man.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.